video is intended to children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank
It'd be nice if I actually added myself to the stream before the intro ended. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning, Nina Green, Kapla, Bird of Prey 5. How are you doing this morning? Kapla World. Oh, shit. Don't copyright me, bro. Purple Valkyrie, good morning. Samantha Joe, the other Valkyrie, good morning, Valkyries. Psycho Dwarf 9, how are you doing? Jedi Bill 797, Mr. CCDV. Oh, yeah, I've done that before. Yes. Mark Davidly Tired, Ambassadorial Wink, good morning. Colin P. Smith, Heiress of Chaos, the Battle Angel is here. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Jitsi Lemons, good morning. Lady Miss, the Guardian of the Void is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, Nina Green. Good morning, Project Storytime. How are you doing? Doctor and author Adega Outlaw is in the chat this morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, Adega. Good morning, everyone. Crimson Mist, Mr. Hyde. Good morning, Captain Trek. How is everybody out there doing this morning? Flutterville, good morning, Colin P. Smith. Man, it is great to be back. It is so great to be back. How is everybody doing out there this morning? I tell you guys, I was up late last night when I saw something I absolutely could not believe. They think that they can get away with some shit. And I'm going to share this because I just could not believe this shit. Godzilla was a metaphor for Hiroshima, and Hollywood whitewashed it. Really? Really? Certainly, all the pieces that were could in any way be construed as critical of the United States or atomic testing were really stricken from the film. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, what Godzilla fan does not know this? What Godzilla, who watched this movie and didn't get it? Seriously. They took all of that out of the film? Excuse me? Excuse me. So what? We need to cancel Godzilla? We need to cancel the original Godzilla with Raymond Burr? We are talking about almost two different films. Gojira and Godzilla. But the point of it all is still there. Raymond Burr says so. Raymond Burr says it clear as day what it was about. Yeah, Mark the infinitely tired, guys. Mark the infinitely tired. What? Does the writer of this article realize Gojira was originally filmed in Japan and is not a product of Hollywood? Not a product of Hollywood. Really? This is where we're at. The radioactive monster Godzilla stomps through a city and eats a commuter train in the scene from Godzilla King of Monsters, directed by Ishiro Honda and Teruo Morsa, circa 1956. By Kimi Yan. Oh, anonymous just tipped $1.99. Thank you so very much, Anonymous. And I've got something special for you, Anonymous. Godzilla score! Skull! Straight from the big guy's mouth. Thank you so very much, Anonymous. And Anonymous doesn't say anything. And Godzilla tipped $1.99 and says roar. And here it comes, Godzilla. Godzilla score! And Godzilla's goal says, roar! Thank you so very much, Godzilla. Thank you so very much. You guys keep the lights on here. Thank you so very much for the skull this morning. Kimmy Yam says, when the monster Godzilla or Gojira, because, I just heard about Gojira the other day, and now I'm going to say Gojira because, I've never liked Godzilla, but I'm going to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about by saying Gojira. Appeared before Japanese movie audiences in 1954. Many left the theater in tears. So they did the same thing in America. Do you know how I know that? Because I had family that went to see that fucking movie and talked about the people leaving in tears. What do you have? Assumptions, you dumb ass SJW. The fictional creature, a giant dinosaur once undisturbed in the ocean, was depicted in the original film as having been aggravated by a hydrogen bomb. It still is. It still is in Gojira and Godzilla. It's a tale of what not to do, dumbass. Its heavily furrowed skin or scales were imagined to resemble the keloid scars of survivors of the 2 atomic bombs that the U.S. dropped on Japan 9 years earlier to end World War II. American audiences, however, had the opposite reaction. Bullshit! Finding comedic value in what many interpreted as a cheesy monster movie. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. Most Americans think if you left the movie in tears, it was just because you laughed so hard. William Sutsy, author of Godzilla on My Mind, 50 Years of the King of Monsters. Bull fucking shit. I heard the tales of the people crying, not because they were laughing so hard, but because they loved the big green guy. If they hadn't, it wouldn't be the giant ass production it is today. You dumb ass son of a bitch. It went beyond Japan and spread all over the world. And Joseph, my brother, just tipped $3. Thank you so very much, Joseph. And Godzilla Skull! And Joseph says, unacceptable. Godzilla does not wear a face mask. That is right. Godzilla does not kneel for anything. And to act like he does is just your way of saying everyone has to. Thank you so very much, Joseph. Thank you. The stark contrast reflects how Hollywood took the Japanese concept and scrubbed it. Did y'all even watch the movie? Did you even listen to what Raymond Burr says? Did you? No, you didn't, you dumbass sons of bitches. Raymond Burr cries in the original movie. He cries in Godzilla 1985. Because that monster is iconic. It's not his fault. It never was. And to act like it is a disgrace to what Godzilla means to each and every one of us. Scrubbed it of its political message before presenting it to American audiences to deflect from the U.S. decision to drop the bombs. Critics say. Critics. Well, you know what I do with critics, guys? Do you know what I do with critics? I wipe my ass with critics because they are bought, they are paid for, and they drink that green titty milk. And we all know it. Soul Assassin, yes, sir. Soul Assassin. Oh, brother. The author is secretly King Ghidorah. Project Storytime, Loki's Mornings of Mischief. It's hard to watch a movie when there are so many takes to make on Twitter. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh. This month is the 75th anniversary. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the problem at hand. Pudgy tugs Loki's pant leg. Do we need tank again? Yes, Pudgy. Yes, Pudgy, and welcome, Pudgy. Good morning, little guy, my friend. How are you doing, Pudgy? Rambling Canuck, hold these morons to the fires of Valhalla and let them squirm. I'm going to, Canuck. This month is the 75th anniversary of the bombings in Hiroshima on August 6th and Nagasaki, 3 days later. And while many Americans today think of the film as an almost campy relic of its time, it was intended in Japan. Really? I had no idea. I never knew that. Do you know why? Because I'm American and I never knew that Godzilla was a metaphor for the evils of atomic testing. Really, I had no idea because, we're all just morons here in America. We don't know anything. Oh, man. It was intended in Japan to be a metaphor for the ills of atomic testing and the use of nuclear weapons. Considering that Japan endured after the bombings, the movie served as a strong political statement representative of the traumas and anxieties of the Japanese people in an era when censorship was extensive in Japan because of the American occupation of the country after the war ended. Tetsuo said, The screen depicted what many could not explicitly say. Mr. CCVD, save 100,000 lives or create Godzilla. I say create Godzilla. Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom, anything I say at this point will be construed as if I have an IQ above 1 and can think for myself. Yes, sir. That is true. Over time, Godzilla films shifted the character's portrayal to themes including Japan's forgetfulness over its imperial past too during the 1980s. Indeed, Purple Valkyrie. Indeed. Project Storytime, the film is so subtle about its allegory. Yes. It is in Gojira, the Japanese version, and it is in Godzilla. That's the point. Japanese creative artists, filmmakers, novelists, and so forth really couldn't talk about the atomic bombings. It was a topic that could not be discussed. And Japanese people as well were very reticent about discussing this tragedy. Reluctant, maybe. That may be the word you're looking for. Reluctant. Don't try and act smart. Just say reluctant. And Japanese people as well were very reluctant about discussing this tragedy because it was so horrible and because they felt a sense of guilt and shame about those events. Tetsuo said, but when the Japanese people had their independence back, and as filmmakers were thinking about giant monsters, people began to think about the connection between monstrosity and the atomic bombing. It wasn't just that, you fucking moron. It was also about their arrogance. It was also about their arrogance. What happened? I'll tell you something. I love Japanese films. I love manga. I love their art. I love everything about the Japanese culture. They drew first blood. It's a fact. It's the way it happened. They drew first blood. Sorry. If you don't agree with that, that's your opinion. But that is mine. And it's a fact. So. In the original Japanese film, the creature was portrayed as a surviving dinosaur from the Jurassic period, swimming around the South Pacific. So really? I did not know that. Tetsuo describes the monster as innocent as the kids on their playgrounds in Hiroshima. Oh, you see what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see what's happening? After an American H-bomb test in the South Pacific, the creature became radiated, hurt, and angry. Really? The reality is just this sort of rage that comes from someone essentially innocent who is so victimized and scarred by this experience. I had no idea. James Andrew Morrison, good morning. I had no idea. I really didn't. This is like all news to me. For many Japanese viewers, seeing the movie was cathartic, validating an experience, the scholar said. People were able to witness Tokyo being destroyed once more while seeing radiation given the physical form of a monster. The ending, while bittersweet, is a hopeful one in which humanity triumphs over evil. He wasn't evil. Godzilla wasn't evil. Why do you think Godzilla became the protector of Earth? Godzilla wasn't evil. Mankind was doing evil things. Japan had went to war with the United States. They drew first blood at Pearl Harbor. And that changed history forever. for everyone all over the world, not just America, not just Japan, but everyone all over the world. Does that mean that I think that atomic bombs should have rained on Japan? No. But that's what happened. You can't change that. All you can do is bring it to light. Godzilla brought that to light, not just in Japan, but in America as well. It made us think twice about doing something like that. It made generations think twice about doing something like that. And to disrespect it in this way. I want to tell you something. Whenever I am feeling bad, whenever I am feeling down, whenever I'm sick, whenever I'm hurting, I lay down and I pop in a Godzilla Blu-ray, and I have almost all of them. And I watch my favorite monster, Godzilla. Whether he's fighting Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Biollante, the Smog Monster, the Sea Monster, King Kong, Mecha King Ghidorah, Destroya, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It makes me feel better. Because I know where he came from, you dumbass sons of bitches. Purple Valkyrie, I'm guessing this article came out to coincide with the anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki last week. Yes, it did. Colin P. Smith, I would suggest that the reason the Cold War never went hot was because of memories of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yes. Yes, I completely agree with that, Colin P. Smith. I completely agree with that. However, American audience saw a different film when it was brought stateside to Godzilla King of Monsters. Had nothing to do with politics or any other bullshit. They wanted to have a couple of American actors in it to draw more American moviegoers. That's why Raymond Burr is big. That's why Raymond Burr is big on the title. But look who's bigger. Godzilla. Roughly 2 years later, Tetsuya said the movie was heavily edited, placing the white actor. Look what he's got to say. Not the actor. Not the actor. The white actor. Racist son of a bitch right there. Imagine if we started calling the Asian actor, the black actor, the white actor, the orange actor, the red actor, the purple actor, the yellow actor, the fucking fuchsia actor. These fuckers are never going to learn. Raymond Burr at the center of the adaptation. No. Godzilla is the center. Godzilla is what people went to see. That's what you don't get. The scholar noted that an estimated 20 minutes of the original Japanese film, predominantly the politically charged portions, were cut out of the American version. Someone please tell me that these people, I can't even say it. I can't even say it. Heirs of Chaos, who goes to watch a Godzilla movie for the humans? They don't. They go to a monster movie to see a monster. And Project Storytime. Raymond Burr was a household name. It was a means to draw in the American audience who still had harsh feelings. Yes. Yes. Yes, Project Storytime. Josh, you are correct. Yes, everyone, please, Godzilla smash that like button. Hit it with the tail. Boom. Among the act scenes was one where the commuters on a train make the link between the Hiroshima bombing and Godzilla's attack. This was the poignant final line in the original, where biology professor Dr. Yaman warns that if nuclear testing does not cease, another Godzilla could appear. Tetsuo pointed out that the US version ended on a sunny note, that the world was safe again and could return to normal. Why not? Why can't it? Why can't it? And there would be more Godzillas. The hell, there would be retelling of what happens after that for years, for decades. They were still retelling what happened after the first movie in the 2000s. Little of the original movie's intended message has been restored in later adaptations. Bullshit. Bullshit. And here's where they bring up 1998. Here's where they bring up 1998. Little of the original movie's intended message has been restored in later adaptations. In the 1998 Godzilla film, it's not Godzilla, that's Zilla. It's just Zilla. That's not Godzilla. It wasn't Godzilla. It was just Zilla. The creature was created from an atomic H-bomb test by the French rather than the Americans in Polynesia. In the Godzilla films released by the production company Legendary, the monster is portrayed as a prehistoric dinosaur that has emerged from the earth and must be destroyed by nuclear bombs, making it an almost humanitarian gesture to save the world from monsters. They hit it with an atomic bomb. They lured it and hit it with an atomic bomb. Did you not see that? That's why it has the atomic breath. That's why it's bigger than it was in the little clips in the beginning of the first Godzilla movie. I just Heirs of Chaos, isn't the 98 one the one that's meme the most? Yeah, because it's not Godzilla, it's Zilla. He's a tuna eating Zilla. It's not Godzilla. This has got me so pissed off this morning. The dynamic of the U.S. wanting to deny its dramatic history in Japan, he said, persists. I don't know what these people are smoking. I do not know what these people are smoking. They're smoking their own farts, and they're getting high off it. When outlets like the New York Times reviewed the film in 1956, it was described as in the category of cheap cinematic horror stuff, and it is too bad that a respectable theater has to lure children and gullible grown-ups with such fare. And you know what? The New York Times is still writing crappy shit, except now they're doing it for y'all. They're still writing raggy, crappy shit for y'all. The deliberate aesthetic choices that the original filmmakers made on the creature's keloid-like scars were even interpreted as low-budget Japanese filmmaking, with critics at the time likening the monster to a miniature of a dinosaur made of gumshoes and about $20 worth of toy buildings and electric trains. Please, where's the quote for that? You threw this one up here from the New York Times. Where's the link for that? Hollywood ultimately sought to sanitize the movie, and it's just going to be the same shit over and over and over again. Hollywood did this. America was really the problem. It's all America's fault. It's all America's fault. All of this is America's fault. Oh, that's a cool picture. That is a cool picture. I like that. I really like that. I'm going to find that and buy that. Let's see how they end this. As long as nuclear weapons or nuclear power exists, Godzilla will never not be relevant, Watanabe says. Godzilla reminds us that we have the terrible power to create our own monsters and contribute. Really? This guy's going to teach us. Godzilla as a character hasn't retained the symbolism for nuclear warfare in the American public's collective mind. Okay, guys, here we go. I am going to tell you what all Americans think. I'm going to tell you right now what all Americans think and feel, because I can do that. I can do that. I can tell you what all Americans think and feel. They'll take everything. They're going to try and take everything. They're going to take our fandom. They're going to take history. They're going to take our choices. They're going to take our minds. They want it all. They want our choices. They want our opinions. They want us silent. They don't want to hear about how these things affected us, because that goes against their narrative. If you love Godzilla like I love Godzilla, what did you think, chat? Everyone out there in the audience this morning, what did you think? Be honest. Did you think he was just a guy in a rubber suit? Did you cry any of the times he died? Did you care about him? Did you want to see him win? Did you love it when he would defend the world? Did you hate it when he tried to destroy it? What did you feel for Godzilla? Tell me. What did you feel for Godzilla? How has he affected you? Eastland Burkholder, Godzilla is a good movie. Political commentary should be deep, not shallow, and based on real history. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Godzilla is a cinematic icon. Thank you, Purple Valkyrie. Godzilla is cool. Eastland Burkholder. Darth Monkey O'Rath. Godzilla was my brother. Damn straight. James Andrew Morrison. I always saw Godzilla in the same way I saw Superman in analog. Yes. Yes, for hope. An analogy for hope. Mr. CCDB, Godzilla was either a massive threat or a hero. I loved either version. I'm so angry about how he is portrayed now. Had the glow-in-the-dark Aurora model in the 70s, one of my favorite models. Yes! Godzilla is the father I never had from Jitsi Lemons. I want a plushy Godzilla. Gun Bunny, I want a plushy Godzilla too. Lady Q on IMBU. Gojira was better in the original Japanese. The subbed was more explanatory than the Americanized version. I'm not damning the Japanese version at all. At all. I love Gojira and I love Godzilla, and I almost look at them as two different films, but they both have that message. That's what I'm fighting for right now, Lady Q. They both have that message. The ending was much better. I love both endings. I love both endings. Jedi Bill 797. I love Godzilla. He is so badass. Period. Psychodorf 9. When defending us, seeing Godzilla take damage, there's a moment when you see him sigh and go back in. I cheered. Yes. James Andrew Morrison, a life-size plushie Godzilla, if only I had the space to put it. Yes. Oh, a giant life-size Godzilla plushie. NB Geek, let's talk. Godzilla was, for many of us, our first introduction into Japan cinema. That and Seven Samurai, NB Geek. That and Seven Samurai are my favorite black and white Japanese movies. There is another one, Yojimbo, that I really like, but Seven Samurai beats Yojimbo, in my opinion. Eddie Outlaw, Godzilla represented decency and humanitarianism. He was an example of how we should feel about the mistakes we make with modernization and our own lack of compassion for our world and fellows. Thank you, Adega. Thank you. You hit the nail on the head. And Lori Roberts, the Destructor. That is so true, NB Geek. Soul Assassin, Godzilla films are always a good time. Victor dancing Godzilla is one of the best moments in the series. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. When he's dancing, dun, 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 dun. Someone like her will always be with us, waiting for the right climate in which to flourish, spreading fear in the name of righteousness, vigilance. That is the price we have to continually pay. Yes, TNG. Project Storytime. Thank you. Colin P. Smith, to be fair, as with so much SJW crap, this article may have some points regarding Americanizing the movie. They just always take the worst possible view. It's 50 years ago. It's more than that. It's almost 70 years ago now. The world was different. And what I see here, again, Colin P. Smith, is an SJW trying to reprimand America for something that happened almost 70 years ago. And you can't do that. It was a different time. Things were different in the world. To point your finger and say, you did this horrible thing because we're judging you by today's standards. I can't do it. Godzilla, King Kong, all the way down to Andy Serkis portraying current movie monsters are a legacy. What will these idiots say 30 years from now about Gollum? Oh, dude, I'm sure it'll be something. They'll compare him to something. And Samantha Joe just tipped $9.99. Thank you so much, Samantha Joe. And Godzilla skull! Absolutely badass. And Samantha Joe says, Godzilla was how I spent my Sunday afternoons. Yes! Catching them on different channels. Catching the big guy on different channels, on Sci-Fi, on whatever network had picked up whatever movie, whether it was Godzilla and the Sea Monster or Godzilla versus Monster Zero or the Monster from Outer Space, whatever it was. Yes. Lady Q on IMBU, trying to destroy a cultural iconic character and not doing a good job at it. No. 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 They're not. They are not. We have to defend these movies. Whether it's Gojira, whether it's Godzilla, whether it's whatever it is, they have to be defended because they will erase them if they can. Given the opportunity, they will erase everything we give a shit about. Everything. Everything we remember. Oh, the Raymond Burr version should be stricken from history and deleted. Really? You're going to delete that work? You're going to delete what they did? Really? Is that what you're going to do? That's what you want to do? Eastland Burkholder comes out swinging with Japanese military had brutalized its prisoners and was sacrificing its citizens. Japan was not the squeaky clean civilians. Some Japanese people were eager to kill U.S. military, not a simple world. No, it was not. Do you know what I was taught? I was taught that they were going to fight to the death. They were not going to stop till every single one of them was dead. Whether those were civilians, children, babies, didn't matter. Didn't matter if they were surrounded. They were going to fight to the death. Am I happy that a country had an atomic bomb dropped on it? No. Of course not. Of course not. And Godzilla is about that. That is what Godzilla is about. Knowing that. James Andrew Morrison, anything and everything that brings hope or brings happiness, they want erased. They want us as sad and miserable as they are. Yes, I completely agree. They infiltrate these companies. They inject their politics, their bullshit, because that's all they can do. They cannot be creative. They cannot create something new and wonderful because they have no creativeness. All they can do is destroy the things we all care about and laugh about it. You will follow our rules and do as we say. Eastland Burkholder, Seven Samurai is about Japanese movie makers respecting Western art and making a real homage to U.S. films. Adega Outlaw, I could tell you stories. My martial arts instructor gave me a huge insight into Japanese feelings during that war. I can imagine he did. I would love to hear them. Soul Assassin, it's not like we just went over and wrecked Japan. We stayed and helped rebuild the country after the war. Yes, we did. Colin P. Smith, just look at some of the stories about how the Allies dealt with holdouts. They eventually managed to get people familiar with Japanese culture to put things in terms that made sense there, and yes, they did. James Andrew Morrison, I'm saddened that atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, but I'm happy it woke the Japanese emperor up to the death he was causing by fighting on. Mr. CCDB nails it. They were not going to surrender. 555th, infantry was scheduled to invade Japan. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were required to end the war. I have, Admiral. And Admiral Doom says, have you ever listened to the actual news broadcast from 7 December 1941? I have, because I own copies of them. To whitewash the history to make others look like saints compared to America is bullshit. Thank you very much, sir. And yes, I have. It was required reading where I grew up. A Dega Outlaw. There is a reason why Japan is now arguably the U.S.'s greatest ally. Thank you. Thank you. And Psycho Dwarf 9 geeking out. Akira Kurosawa is awesome. But yes, there's a reason why America and Japan are so close now. There is a reason why. We went through what we went through. What happened, happened. It's not a whitewashing of history. It's the revisionists trying to change history. It's the revisionists trying to tell each and every one of you, you're wrong for knowing the truth. Latino Slant. Hello, Latino. Good morning. You're catching us right at the end of our show. SJW Green Titty Milk Washing, Colin P. Smith. SJW Green Titty Milk Washing. They want to inject us with their politics. They want to inject our shows and our movies with their politics. Well, you know what? I say, if you want to have politics in your movies, make the story first. Don't build the story around your politics. Just make your story. How you feel will come out in your movie, in your book, in your story. Yes, sir, Latino Slant. Indeed, yes, sir. Shoot, sorry, brother. Well, getting a little bit is better than nada. Yes, sir. Worry about your story first. Worry about the story you want to tell. Worry about inspiring someone in some way, making them want to do their movie, making them want to write their book, making them want to make a comic for themselves. Write to inspire, not to inject, not to force. Let people see the beauty in what you can create, not what you can erase. Because that is where the true beauty lies. Creation. Creating something out of nothing. Putting your thoughts and your words down on paper and making something that makes people leave the theater in tears, like Godzilla. That makes people see things in a new light. That makes people welcome an entirely new creative universe. And ladies and gentlemen, we have someone that does that in chat right now. And he's probably going, oh shit, Loki, don't do it again. But yeah, I am. Bodega Outlaw has written a wonderful story, and there are more stories to come. And there are more stories that have yet to be published. He went out and he created an entire universe around the characters and stories he created. These JWs can't do that. They can't create. Story and characters first, Latino slant. Yes, story and characters first. I bring up Bodega because it captivated me. It pulled me in from the first page and kept me going the whole way. And that's rare today. That is so rare to have that experience when getting pulled into a story. Thank you, Bodega, if you're still listening. Thank you, brother. Guys, don't miss the Valkyries coming up in a little over an hour. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the Godzilla skulls. Thank you for listening, because I love Godzilla. And for them to use him like this, I just fucking hate it. I just hate it.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.